So we took a trip around Los Angeles to bring you what it looks like in the second largest city in America.
Living on the other side of the world, for us, is like a dream coming here, you know?
Los Angeles hasn't been the most welcoming city in the last year, whether it had to do with the fires, some of the political unrest.
If you've ever walked down Hollywood Boulevard, you probably remember the energy. The street performers dressed as superheroes, the crowds taking selfies with the Walk of Fame stars, and that constant buzz of tourists and locals mixing together. For decades, this was the beating heart of Los Angeles entertainment culture, but things have changed dramatically. Today, large sections of Hollywood Boulevard tell a very different story. Walking through certain stretches now, you'll find empty storefronts with dusty windows, faded for lease signs that have been hanging for months, and sidewalks that used to be packed with foot traffic, now eerily quiet during what should be peak hours. The contrast is striking when you compare it to the Hollywood Boulevard of just a few years ago. According to tourism data, Los Angeles County saw record numbers back in 2019, over 50 million visitors, but by 2022, that dropped to around 46 million visitors and $22 billion in revenue. Even in 2025, projections show a 9.2% decline in international visitors, and local businesses along Hollywood Boulevard say they've lost as much as half their foot traffic compared to pre-pandemic levels. The decline didn't happen overnight. It's been a gradual process that accelerated significantly during the pandemic, but the roots go deeper than that. Rising commercial rents, changing consumer habits, and increased competition from other entertainment districts around Los Angeles have all played a role in reshaping this iconic street. Let me show you what I discovered during my recent walk through the area. Starting from the TCL Chinese Theater and moving east, the first thing that hits you is how many businesses have simply vanished. Where there used to be souvenir shops, restaurants, and tourist attractions, now there are empty spaces with brown paper covering the windows. Some of these storefronts have been vacant for over a year. The famous souvenir shops that once lined the boulevard are struggling. Many have consolidated their operations or closed entirely. The ones that remain are operating with skeleton crews and limited inventory.
Is down this summer here in Los Angeles. The city has seen significant drops in international visitors, and there are a number of reasons why we're no longer a favorite attraction.
I spoke with several shop owners who told me their foot traffic has dropped by more than 60% compared to pre-2020 levels, a number that lines up with what tourism analysts have been reporting across Los Angeles. What's particularly noticeable, the impact on the smaller, independent businesses gave Hollywood Boulevard unique character. Quirky costume shops, vintage record stores, the family-owned eateries tourists used to discover while exploring the area. Businesses operated on thin margins even during good times. Many couldn't survive the prolonged downturn in tourism and local spending. Street performers who used to be a constant presence have also largely disappeared. Costumed characters who posed for photos with tourists, the musicians who set up on corners, the artists who sold their work along the sidewalks. Absence creates an almost ghostly atmosphere in areas that used to pulse with activity. But it's not just the retail and entertainment businesses that are struggling. Office spaces above many of the street-level shops are also sitting empty. These upper floors used to house talent agencies, production companies, for entertainment industry businesses. Now, many building owners are offering significant rent reductions just to find tenants. In some parts of Los Angeles, office occupancy is still 30% below 2019 levels. Hollywood hasn't been spared that trend. The parking situation tells another part of the story. Meters that used to be constantly fed by tourists and locals now sit unused for hours at a time. Parking structures that were once full by mid-morning now have entire floors sitting empty throughout the day. It creates a cycle. Reduced foot traffic makes the area feel less vibrant, which in turn discourages people from visiting. Some of the larger chain stores and restaurants are hanging on, but even they've had to adapt their operations. Several have reduced their hours, scaled back their staff, modified their business models to focus more on delivery and takeout rather than in-person dining and shopping. Impact extends beyond just the businesses themselves. Hollywood Walk of Fame stars are still there, embedded in the sidewalk, but the crowds that used to gather around the most famous ones thinned significantly. A recent Tuesday afternoon counted fewer than a dozen people taking photos with stars that used to draw constant attention. Local property owners are facing their own challenges. Many have had to lower their asking rents just to attract tenants. Even with reduced prices, finding businesses willing to take the risk on Hollywood Boulevard has become increasingly difficult. The uncertainty about when tourism might fully recover has made potential tenants cautious about committing to long-term leases. The situation is complicated by broader changes in how people consume entertainment, shop for goods. Streaming services have reduced the appeal of physical movie theaters and entertainment venues. Online shopping has cut into the tourist souvenir market. Social media has shifted how people interact, celebrity culture and entertainment. Another factor that's impossible to ignore is the rising crime and public safety concerns in the Hollywood area. The neighborhood's violent crime rate sits around 11.5 per 1,000 residents, roughly double the national average, and theft, burglary, and assault are among the most reported offenses. When you combine that with empty streets and fewer tourists, it's easy to see why some people now describe the boulevard as feeling unsafe after dark. Homelessness also plays a visible role in shaping how visitors experience the area. Los Angeles County has over 75,000 unhoused residents, one of the largest populations in the nation. Hollywood, number of people living unsheltered, to nearly 49% in the last official count. But encampments and individuals sleeping along side streets remain a part of the boulevard's daily reality. And though the numbers are trending slightly downward, perception lags behind statistics. Perception drives tourism. Despite all these challenges, there are still signs of life and potential for recovery. Some businesses have found ways to adapt and even thrive in this new environment. Certain restaurants have pivoted to focus on local customers rather than tourists. Some shops have embraced online sales while maintaining their physical presence. A few entertainment venues have modified their programming to attract different audiences. The question remains whether Hollywood Boulevard can reinvent itself for a new era, or if this decline represents a permanent shift in Los Angeles's entertainment landscape. The next part of this exploration examines the specific businesses and organizations that are trying to bring new life to the boulevard and whether their efforts are making a meaningful difference. The transformation becomes even more apparent when you look at the entertainment venues that used to define Hollywood Boulevard's identity. The historic theaters that once hosted red carpet premieres and celebrity events struggle to fill their seats for regular screenings. Some have had to completely change their programming, shifting from mainstream blockbusters to niche film festivals or live performances, just to generate revenue. Walking further down the boulevard, you'll notice how the famous wax museums and tourist attractions have adapted to survive. Several have slashed their admission prices and extended their hours. Crowds just aren't there like they used to be. The museum that used to see lines of visitors waiting outside now has staff members standing on the sidewalk trying to entice passers-by to come inside with discount offers. The street art and murals that once covered many of the buildings have started to fade and peel. Property owners who used to maintain these colourful displays as tourist draws have cut back on upkeep costs. What was once vibrant and Instagram-worthy now looks weathered and neglected, adding to the overall sense of decline. Security has become a bigger concern as foot traffic has decreased, with fewer people around during certain hours. Some areas feel isolated and unsafe. It creates another barrier for potential visitors who might be considering a trip to explore what's left of the boulevard's attractions. LAPD data shows that reports of theft and assault along major Hollywood corridors have risen in the past 2 years, which only fuels the narrative that the area isn't what it used to be. The impact on local employment has been significant. Thousands of jobs that depended on the steady flow of tourists and entertainment industry activity have simply evaporated. Hotel workers, restaurant staff, retail employees, and service providers who built their livelihoods around Hollywood Boulevard's ecosystem have had to find work elsewhere or leave the industry entirely. Real estate values in the area have taken a hit as well. Commercial properties that were once considered prime locations are now sitting on the market for extended periods. Investors who bought into the Hollywood Boulevard dream during its heyday are now reassessing their strategies and wondering if they'll ever see returns on their investments. But the story isn't entirely doom and gloom. Some entrepreneurs are seeing opportunity in the chaos. Lower rents have made it possible for creative businesses to move into spaces that would have been unaffordable just a few years ago. Artist studios, small theaters, and experimental restaurants are starting to pop up in some of the vacant storefronts. The local government has also started taking notice. City officials have begun discussing various revitalization plans, though most of these initiatives are still in early planning stages. There's talk of tax incentives for new businesses, improved lighting and safety measures, and efforts to attract different types of events and activities to the area. Some of the surviving businesses have formed informal networks to support each other and coordinate marketing efforts. They're trying to reimagine Hollywood Boulevard not just as a tourist destination, but as a place where locals might want to spend time and money. This grassroots effort includes everything from coordinated street cleaning to joint promotional campaigns. The changing demographics of visitors present both challenges and opportunities. While traditional tourists have decreased, there's been an uptick in locals rediscovering the area. Young professionals and families who live in nearby neighborhoods are starting to explore Hollywood Boulevard with fresh eyes, treating it more like a local hangout than a tourist trap. Technology is also playing a role in potential recovery efforts. Some businesses have invested heavily in social media marketing and virtual experiences to maintain connections with customers who can't visit in person. Others have developed mobile apps and online ordering systems to serve both local and remote customers. The entertainment industry itself is slowly adapting to new realities. Smaller production companies and independent creators are finding affordable space along the boulevard for offices and creative work. While this doesn't generate the same foot traffic as major studio operations, it does bring some economic activity back to the area. Food and pop-up vendors have started filling some of the gaps left by closed restaurants. These mobile businesses can respond more quickly to changing conditions and customer preferences. They're also helping to maintain some street-level activity during different times of day. Hollywood Boulevard's transformation from bustling entertainment hub to a street marked by empty storefronts and quiet sidewalks reflects broader changes happening across America's iconic destinations. What we've seen here isn't just about one famous street. It's about how entire neighborhoods can shift when the economic foundations that supported them for decades suddenly change. The empty shops, missing street performers, and vacant office spaces tell the story of a place caught between its legendary past and an uncertain future. While some businesses are finding ways to adapt and new entrepreneurs are taking advantage of lower rents, the boulevard is still searching for its identity in this new era. Whether Hollywood Boulevard can successfully reinvent itself remains to be seen. The efforts from local businesses, government initiatives, and grassroots community organizing show there's still fight left in this historic street. But recovery will require more than just hoping tourism returns to previous levels. For now, Hollywood Boulevard serves as a reminder of how quickly things can change in the entertainment industry and urban America. If you've walked these streets before, seeing them in their current state might feel unsettling, but it's also a chance to witness a piece of Los Angeles history in transition.